Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Mike Papa Kilo Rumble and Odysee channel, where I just leave trash wherever. We have another last ditch rifle here, but not the one you're used to. This is a gun I've been wanting to get for years, haven't ever pulled the trigger on them because they're always like $800 or more. But this is a No4 Mark 1 Savage Longbranch. Very difficult gun to get on the cheap, which is why we haven't had one. They're always more than $700. But this one with shipping was less than $4 just because it was missing a magazine. For that, I bought a bunch of 303 at an auction probably close to 10 years ago. That mag was in it. Its follower seems to be a little wonky. And then we have a No1 Mark 3 and a No1 Mark 4 magazine here. And the only thing that I can tell is different is the height of the round presentation. You can see the followers just present different heights. I don't see any other difference in these magazines. Location of the rib seems to be approximately the same, where the magazine actually locks in at. All the cutouts and feed lip geometries appear to be identical. It's just that one of the followers seems to sit higher than the other one, which is, again, strange to me that they would wait until the second to last iteration of the Enfield to do that. And it looks like this is actually a No4 magazine, but the front lip of this follower is bent. Unfortunately, a lot of the ammo I have is steel case. This bandolier steel case is a 1950 surplus, but most of the ammo I have is 1942 and 1943, and I'm just going to shoot maybe 5 rounds of that. Probably find the most corrosive stuff that I find. Here, let me go grab some. We do have some commercial ammo here. There's a soft point, which I bet is from Winchester. Oh, that's a UMC round. So there we go. So that's a United Metallic Cartridge Company, which eventually Remington bought. That actually has powder in it. I'll grab one of these World War II rounds, and I doubt we'll be able to hear any powder shake out of these because I think these are cordite. There we go, 1942 on the right and 1943 on the left. Yeah, I can't hear any powder in those because these are probably cordite. I'll probably tear one of these apart. I do have the Mike Papa Milsurp channel on YouTube that I haven't done because I've been unemployed since Rona. So, yeah, the majority of this ammo I have is actually World War II surplus, and I forgot I had it until I got this gun because Beard has had Enfields because he likes them. I've never had one because I've only wanted to try this one back when I thought aperture sights were cool, and then I realized they're not. So the way I know this is one of the last ditch guns is they went away with the fancy rear sight. I think Ian McCollum with Forgotten Weapons is where I learned it years ago. Haven't watched him in a while. I need to start rewatching his stuff. But the main differences between the No1 Mark 3, which is the majority of Enfields, and the No4 is the aperture sight instead of the tangent sight. Obviously the handguard changed. This one takes that common socket bayonet that you usually see at gun shows for like $10. You can see the exposed muzzle, unlike a No1 Mark 3, so that's the most obvious thing. And then a couple things about the bolt. I think that's your takedown notch. And the No1 Mark 3 has had that little spring latch. Magazines changed for some reason. See, the cocking indicator is the same. The bolt's still rear locking lugs, which is the only thing that concerns me about this gun. And since this is the last ditch, they used whatever metal they could to get the butt plate. This is not brass. This is like dirty, rusty pot metal or aluminum. So see the sling swivel there. Looks like someone decided to drive it in. Some FUD ruined this gun by putting his own sling swivel in. So we might do a wood repair there. But I don't know what that means. I haven't really looked at this real close. I literally just picked it up. But very dark oiled. Like I said, Longbranch, 1942 or 43, I'm sure. 43 right there. And yeah, this is like the end of the last ditch guns for the British. So I'm going to figure out which one of these magazines works. Probably not this one, probably be the Pro Mag. Bring you guys along for that and just have some fun. Got a target here at 25 yards. Start off not shooting that stuff. But shoot some of this stuff, and I got some privy partisan as well. BTO actually stocks this stuff. It's $1.50 a round, just like it is on the internet, so it's not much more expensive than buying in bulk, really. So I love privy partisan. It's unfortunate that they had to raise their prices like everyone else. Used to be able to get this stuff for $1 a round. I always thought there was a difference in whether or not the magazines would lock in for the #1 and the #4, but they look identical. So we'll start with the #3, or #1 Mark III. That one clicks in just fine. Bit of a tight fit being brand new. And here's the #4 magazine. That one locks in too. One. Oh, that's not a good start. I'm just going to steal this charger clips off of the steel core ammo that I pulled out of this bandolier. 1950 surplus. Put 4 more of these World War II rounds on here. See if we can charger load it. Holy rimmed cartridges, Batman. And unlike the Mausers, oh yeah, maybe this flip forward. As I said, I thought the Mausers were the ones you had to, you didn't have to, yeah, see, that's, I knew that was gonna have some troubles, yeah. Rim lock for days. So yeah, this looks like the feed geometry not working great on this. So maybe I got the mags kind of mixed up. Or it's just a Pro Mag and it doesn't want to run, which is also very likely. There's the baggie. If I have to single load this today, I'm going to be very upset. That's all I'm saying. So that one sits higher. I'm almost certain that that was the #4 that we were using. We'll use the one that goes lower, but I doubt this is going to be much better. This single load, 5 rounds. Be conscious of where the rims are. So I'm pretty sure the magazine always staggers the rims for you. You just want to make sure the rim going on top is forward to the one behind it so it doesn't get rim lock. Which happens more on Mosins from what I understand than these guns, but I have no experience with these guns. Yep, so the one that presents lower is actually the #1 Mark IV. Looks like someone tried to gumsmith this one and bent the follower up high. Oh, that's a gummy bolt. Yeah, this thing needs a thorough cleaning. But like I said, I just picked it up and looked at everything and it looks fine. Allegedly. We'll do 5 rounds of this World War II stuff. See how she does. The bore looks very gummy and slightly pitted. So it's going to take a while for this thing to work. I'll get a nice full angle shot of this for you guys so you can see the garbage flying out of the muzzle of this thing. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be biblical. Alright. See how we do. The baby aperture at 25 yards. It's still a hot dog down the hallway. That's some pretty stout ammo. Smell that? It's cordite. $1943, the same year as this gun is the first round I shoot out of it. Probably a Berdan prime piece of brass. Has the letter U, 0, 1943. And then a Roman numerical 5, 1, 1. Cool. Hot dog down the hallway, front sight. Fire. Man, that thing actually hammers you. Oh, cordite. If I get cancer, it's worth it. See how we did. That is one of the best groups I've ever shot out of a gun this old with this out of before. It's almost like the ammo was made for it. Especially since my rear sight takes up that much of the target. That's impressive. I can see why they like these guns so much. Holy crap, this gun's neat. The rest of the shooting I'm going to do with the Privy Partisan because, well, the ammo I just shot is probably worth a lot to somebody. Taped up our original target. We're going to shoot 3 rounds on top of it, and we'll go out to 50 to see where the point of impact change is, and we'll go out to 100 and see where the point of impact change is. But yeah, this thing needs a bath, something fierce. It's very strange that the aperture takes up basically the whole target, and the concept is that the front post is going to naturally center itself in your eye, and well, it looks like it's actually shooting point of aim, which is very strange. If I could just hold on to the gun. You can't put your finger over it because the sights are in the way. I need that brass. Come back. This extractor is better than #1 Mark III, that's for sure. Oh yeah, Privy Partisan right on top of each other. Holy crap. This gun rocks. Less than a 1-inch group of 25 with wide open irons. Shooting a little high. We'll see where it goes at 50. So I've loaded this charger 3 different times, and every time the rims stack like that. I don't know how these can be loaded into the gun and not rim lock, because obviously you got to be able to load it from either way, but there must be a way in that geometry of that magazine that they stack properly, because they're definitely locked up right there. Very strange having a shiny new magazine on a grimy old gun. Holy balls, come on. Do the thing. Try not to get tetanus from this charger clip. Yeah, that charger sucks. Yeah, I don't know how that's supposed to work. I know the Gevaers kick them out. Apparently the Enfields don't. Alright, yeah, that's hot dog down a hallway is interesting. The fact I'm getting the best hits I ever have out of gun is kind of crazy. I'm gonna set the target right on top of the front post. So I know this is probably gonna hit a little bit high. It's not the worst trigger I've ever tried. It's not the best. It's right in the middle. It's pretty good. Not bad. This bolt is very sticky. Let's see how we did. Yep, not the same as cordite. Yep, so my point of aim went from the center black ring to the very bottom of the orange ring. So we've got the original 3 rounds. Looks like I pulled too low of the original 3 rounds, put too high, and one of them I just didn't get the sights right, but it seems pretty accurate. Go out to 100, I'll probably have to aim between the bottom 2 squares to get in the center, so that's what I'm gonna do. See all the cosmoline seeping out of this handguard now. It's gotten a little warm. Since we have a drop in the stock, I might be able to show you the sight picture. Try and get this to focus past. Yeah, it's a lot like that. Just a hot dog down the hallway. It's very hard for me to pick up what the sights are seeing without having, you know, real eyeballs. But it's at 100 yards, we're talking like that's your rear sight, and the front sight's like. All right, this will be adventurous. For this, I'm actually gonna dry fire because Like I said, the rear sight takes up like 3 sets of baffles in the back. Nice little 2-stage trigger. A little bit of creep. It's like a really good AR trigger after you get the second or the first stage out of the 2-stage nature of the trigger. Creep, brake. Nice 4.5 pound trigger. Nothing crazy here. I don't understand how these are supposed to work, but they don't stagger correctly at all. There must be an art to loading these chargers, because I certainly ain't doing it right. I guess if I was smart, I'd see how the ones in the bandolier are loaded, assuming those are still loaded from the OEM. All right. 100 yards. Gonna aim between the bottom two. I can even center. My piece of shit microphones didn't catch any of that wisdom I just gave you. So I'm going to, in post, put words on this, because piece of shit microphones. So this will be the 3rd time I've taken this take, because these absolute garbage microphones, ooh, that's toasty. These absolute garbage microphones just keep shutting off on me. So, first thing, I'm going to take one of the factory stripper clips out of here, assuming it's still loaded from the factory and not someone else. But yeah, there must be an art to loading these, because these ones, we can even see, are staggered as such that this one is behind that one, is behind that one, is behind that one, is behind that one. And every time I loaded my clip, it wouldn't do that. But that begs the question, if I load it like this, would it even work? Because now this one's in front of that one, in front of that one, that one. That's going to rim block it. So that I don't understand. Here is the Privy Partisan head stamp for those of you who are curious. I'll go ahead and shoot one more round since you didn't get to hear me shoot any of those rounds. All the Cosmoline is just glowing out of this thing. But this gun is a chin weld. If you can see, this is my cheek weld. I got to raise my eyes up an inch to get to the sight, so not very fast getting back on target, unfortunately. Got a really nice trigger. It's a 2-stage, 4.5 pound trigger. It's like a really good AR trigger, essentially, once you get the first stage of the 2-stage pulled out. Kick's pretty decent. It feels lighter than a No.1 Mark III. The No.1 Mark III shoot really nice because they're super heavy, but this rear aperture takes 3 of those baffles in the rear of the aperture. And the front sight's really skinny, and I'm putting it right between those 2 squares. So it's advantageous to actually close an eye when you're using aperture sights. I hate closing an eye because I lose my left periphery, but it helps a ton. Open sights, like a regular tangent sight, I don't have to. But these aperture sights, it is very much advantageous to do so. And the other reason why I don't like closing an eye is because you lose a lot of control to eye strain because you're tensing up your face. The best way to shoot is obviously relaxed. So now I've got this 3rd take done, we can bring this target in. Well, that is a respectable group, boys and girls. Shooting just left of center. It could be me. Obviously not used to this gun yet. Not used to the recoil, not used to the trigger, but minus that one that I pulled low, we have a 1, 2, 3.5, 4-inch group, which if you can hold a 3-inch group with iron sights and a milsurp gun at 100 yards, you're doing pretty good. So it is unfortunate that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5, 10-inch dope difference. But that's kind of similar to my AR. My AR is if it's a 25-yard zero, it's a 8-inch, 7-inch difference at 100 yards. So that's not bad. Pretty flat shooting, especially for a 174 grain projectile. That's a neat gun. Wish I had an original magazine, but oh well. Pretty freaking neat. Thanks for watching. Ooh.